All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. I was just watching this video, and then the guy was talking, and he was saying something, and some of it was a good points or whatever, but then he started just talking about people that are poor, and the tone in which he was saying it, man, just showed that this guy has got an extra desire for money way beyond measure, man, to the point where you're prepared to look at other people's lives and mock them. But the scriptures speak against that, man, and the scriptures say that it's better to pretty much have hardly anything and be content in your mind than to have loads and be wicked, right? But people don't acknowledge that when it comes to this world. They say, well, if you've got money, right, or they say the term, it's better to cry in a Rolls Royce than crying a Nissan Micra or something like that, right? But it's better to smile in a Nissan Micra than to be crying in that Rolls Royce, man. It's better to be righteous in that Nissan Micra or walking on the street or using a push bike than to be a wicked demon in a Rolls Royce, because the Lord's not rocking with them people, man. And the Lord's got a anger against those kind of people, because the people that are the richest in this world are the Edomites right now. And let's make no mistake about that. The so-called white people are the richest people in this world. It's not no people in Dubai and all that and none of that. No Arabs in Dubai. It's not them. It's Esau, man. He's the richest on this earth right now. This is Haggai chapter 1, and this is just a quick point for some Israelites to understand, man, that the time of you living a flashy lifestyle and having the glory is not now. And if it is for now, well, then that means that in the kingdom you're going to be in there embarrassed, man. Haggai chapter 1 and verse 3. Then came the word of Yahweh by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. You have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Because when these jakes are designed to get this money, right, they say a term of you can never have enough money, right? But then when you actually look at all these jakes that have all this money and all of these things, and a lot of them don't even own houses a lot of the time, man. A lot of these Israelites that do end up getting some of the money that we as Israelites think that we want, right, as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans or whatever, they end up broke, man, after they get those monies, because it ends up destroying them anyway. It ends up having a cost spiritually that came with that money making. There's a spiritual cost, man, and a lot of people in this world are all caught up in their job, and because they've got a job, right, they think that that job somehow means that they're better than another person, but it's not gonna do that, man. Because ultimately, the more money that you have coming up into the end of this world, coming down to a crumble, that's the more likelihood that you're gonna be to take that karagma. Verse 4. Is it time for you, or ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. You have sown much and bring in little, so you work hard as hell, but you ain't even really got nothing. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. So all of you money guys out there, right? And this ain't no video saying don't have money, because you need money for certain things in this world. But thinking that you're going to be rich in this world and you're going to buy houses and properties and be some kind of tycoon lifestyle, that's not going to happen, because there's a people over you that have got power in this world that they hate your guts. They hate your lineage in general, no matter how nice you are to them. They hate that you exist on the earth. They hate looking at you. And these people are called the Edomites, man. You might call them the elites, but when you actually look at the nationality of these people, they're the Edomites. And they're your enemy from the womb since your nation began. And they hate your guts. And it don't matter how smooth you are, how fast you are running, they're going to find a way to take you down. So you need Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the only one that's got the power to take these people down. It's not going to be from your own strength. It's not going to be because you're the best plumber in the UK or because you're the best construction worker this side of the West Midlands or because you own 25 liquor stores all over London or because you're opening up a bar and grill. I'm opening up a bar and grill in Brixton and it's going to be popping, man. I'm going to have all the galdom in there. No, that's not going to save you either. Or I'm opening up a shop a shop that sells gold. I've got my family came across a bit of gold in their land. We're going to start a gold company. No, none of that's going to help you either if you're an Israelite, man. So people mocking people that are poor, it's going to be a lot of the poor that are going to have had that thing in their life to where they know they've got faith in something else outside of this, man. A lot of people that have got riches in this world, they can't think any higher than this place, man. Because this is where their comfort lies. Whereas people that are struggling more, they've got more of a mindset of thinking outside of this place, man. Proverbs chapter 4, let me say this as well. If people would have saw John the Baptist eating bugs in the woods with honey, they would have thought he was bugged out, man. They would have thought he was crazy. And it's a problem to mock the poor, man. It's a problem to mock the poor. And like there's a difference between being poor and not having no money to your name. But it's a problem to mock the poor, man. Like it's a thing that Yahweh has got a lot of anger towards. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 7. 2 things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Right? So you're not supposed to have hope for too much in this world until the kingdom, or too little. Lest I be full and deny thee. So if you get that money, right, then you start thinking that you're the stuff, because you start thinking about all that time and effort that you put in to get those riches, and you start thinking, oh, I'm the guy that made this. I made me this money. I got it from my hands. I got it from my skills. I'm the one that caused me to get these riches. I'm the one that was doing all that practice in the gym so that I could be a professional football player. I'm the one that was throwing them jabs on the bag so I could be a professional boxer. I'm the one that was practicing all the different ways to control my voice and control my breathing when I sing so that I could become a singer. I'm the one that went and did my university degree so that I could become and be a doctor. I'm the one that did my master's. I'm the one that planned out my dissertation. I'm the one that passed those tests. I'm the one that answered the questions right. I'm the one that did all the studying. You're going to start thinking that. And then when it comes time to decide whether you want to keep those riches or not, or choose the other way of life that for the new kingdom that's coming, which everyone's going to have to make the decision, you're going to have had so much trust in this world and not be able to give up this place, man. Because most of the Hebrew Israelites, we ain't balling out here, man. And if some are, well, that's good for them, I guess. But if you start getting into that balling spirit, right, something bad's going to happen, man. And that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to work or that you're not supposed to try and have some money in your pocket. But if there's a brother out there that doesn't have that, he's not no more or no less than another Hebrew Israelite that does, man. If he's of the elect, he's still going to get a space on the chariot, just like that brother that's got a job. He's going to have a space in the chariot. So it's not a thing to try and mock somebody because he's working hard, or not a thing to try and mock somebody that has less than you. Because there's people that do this in this world, and Yahweh's got something planned for them, man. And Yahweh can take their money away from them in the spiritual sense and just cause for that same person that they was mocking to receive of the same funds that they was mocking them for, man. It's not hard for Yahweh to do that, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to make the Hebrew Israelites of the elect that was downtrodden and not even viewed as nothing in this society be changed into the best in this world. Verse 9, lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. So if you ain't got nothing, then you're really going to hate the Lord too on that. If you got too much, you're going to be proud against the Lord. And if you've got nothing, you're going to be angry towards the Lord as well. You're going to think, well, if he loves me, then why ain't I got nothing then? And that's why it's about balance, man. It's not about having abundance of wealth in this society, because this society and how the people are in this world, man, are proud, man. If every single Israelite right now had 10 million in the bank and showed it and dressed in such a way that they had 10 million in the bank, every time they speak to anybody about the scriptures, them people are going to be so fake. and be like, yeah, you know what? I've always knew that the Lord's name was what it is. I knew I was meant to meet you. I had a day living lie. I had a dream the other day, and I got told I was gonna meet a man, on this street, and he told me he was the dream told me that he was gonna tell me something that was special that I've been desiring to hear all my life, and I think that man was you. They'll be bowing down to you, calling you a prophet and all that. They'll be on every single video. Shalom, Ak. They'll be finding your video, promoting it to everyone else. But really, it will be just because they want some of that money that you got. That's what it would be because of. It won't be because of, they think that the word's good. And even Yahweh Shai saw that when he was doing miracles around people and when he was feeding them. He saw that if he wasn't feeding them, they wouldn't have been there. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 27, but God have chosen, in fact, verse 26, for you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and the base things of the world and the things which are despised. So people that are poor, people that ain't probably the most attractive of their nation, right? People that ain't got the most notoriety and the most fame, people that are not viewed in this world as anything special, man. The worst people, the word of the Lord is with the people that are considered the worst in this world. We ain't the worst, but we're the worst in this world, though. So therefore, according to this world, we're the worst. But really, according to the eyes of Yahweh, we're the best. But he's chose the things that in this world, in a society that's like this, that's down with alphabeting and rainbowing, that's down with women having power over men, that's down with not knowing how many genders there are, that's down with harming children, that's down with men wearing dresses, that's down with surgeries that so-called change genders, that's down with corrupt financial systems that create algorithms that can be designed to keep so-called black people in debt, or that are down with a society that makes weapons that attack people of particular races. That's down with a society that's going to go cashless. We're the worst in this world because we ain't down with that. We ain't down with that, man. And if you have to be accepting of all of these things that I just mentioned to win in this society, then it's not worth winning, man. It's not worth winning. It's better to be poor then. Because a lot of you Israelites out there that try and call yourself by other titles. I'm not Israelite. I'm African American. I'm Nigerian, bruv. I'm Yoruba. I'm Yoruba, bruv. And all that. Oh, I'm a Niger boy. Oh, I'm not Jamaican. I'm Montego Bay and that. I'm Black British, man. What are you talking about? I'm just me. Oh, I'm not an Israelite. I'm Navajo tribes. Oh, I'm not an Israelite. My granddad was Great Chief Moonhawk. I'm not a tribe of Gad. What are you talking about? I'm not Ishakarite. I'm a Mexican. What are you talking about, man? Olale, Holmes. If you want to stay on that, well, you can die like that too. If you want to stay being a heathen in this world and being under the titles that your oppressor gave you, well, you can die then. That's what it's going to be ultimately. You're just going to die as a heathen, as a person that's not calling himself by an Israelite, man. You can die with the heathens. And then when you're in the kingdom, you're going to be looking stupid in there because you're going to have to realize that you had the chance to be glorious, and then you're still glorious now anyway, but now you're glorious with shame. You're not glorious now because you accepted it. You're glorious now because every Israelite was going to get it anyway, but you had the chance to receive it with honor. But now you're receiving it with shame. Forever. Forever, when the annual celebration of the Israelites comes around, you're going to know, man, you was going off at that time. You was too busy trying to think you was going to get a Bentley in this world, man. Because every single man desires to have riches, man. But there's a cost for that in this world, man. There's a thing that the people that run this world are going to require of you to get that wealth, because that's what they all had to do to get that wealth. So if you reach a certain point that a lot of you people want to reach, it's going to come at a cost of things that you have hold within yourself that you thought was your integrity, man. And they're going to drain every single last bit of your integrity out of you And then just like with most of these celebrities, at the end of their career, they look faded and drained, man. Their skin looks pale. They look faded and drained, like they've had their spirit drained out of them, man. Mark chapter 8 and verse 36, for what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So, and it's not talking about, oh, your soul's just going to fall out of you as soon as you reach a certain society point, because that would mean you're dead if your soul's not in you no more, if your spirit's not in you. It means it's going into how you've lost all your integrity, man. Everything that you stood on, you've had to lose all of that for this job. And I've seen people do that, like lose their integrity or kiss ass just to get extra 50p an hour in jobs, man. I've seen it. I've seen people get the nepotism program, the nepotism job upgrade. 1 minute they start, they're on the same role as you in a job. 2 weeks to a week to 2 weeks goes by, and they're somehow telling you what to do now. But in the same way how that's happening right now, and it's happened with these people, that's what's going to happen to us one day. We're going to just be changed, man. And we're going to be telling everybody else to do what to do when previously they was telling us what to do. But Israelites are playing the longer game on that. And all the people that are desiring wealth right now, mocking people that ain't got as much as them, right? Well, some of the time you don't know who them people are. Some of the time the people, okay, maybe they might deserve mocking. But if that person is of the elect, well, you're going to be looking stupid in that day because you mocked that person, man. You're going to be looking stupid in that day. Because the Bible is clear, man. The end of a man is better than the beginning. And the end of everyone of the elected nation of Israel is going to be glorious, man. Verse 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So what can you give in exchange for your soul, man? What is worth having when at the end of it all you ain't got no integrity left? What is it worth to have? Okay, you've got a Bentley, right? You got a Rolls Royce, you got a car for every single day of the month. So every single day of the month, you don't need to drive the same car every month. You can drive a different car every single day, right? You got a different car for every single day. Or let's say you had a different car for every single day of the year, right? But then every single time you see a mirror, you can't even look in there because you know what evil you had to do to get those riches, man. And you know what was required of you to get those riches. And you might say, oh, but what if I don't have to be wicked to get those riches? Well, show the person that hasn't had to do that. Show them. Show the person that hasn't had to give up being able to say what they want to say in order to get up there with those people, man. Where they at? Because there always seems to be a bit of a censorship when it comes with a certain point of success, man. Or there always seems to be the rainbow flag seems to be following these people around all the time, man. Or there seems to be a scandal that comes out about these people, man, every single time. Now, the difference between Hebrew Israelites and the rest of the world is that we also desire riches and stuff like that, right? But we know that if we was to get it in this world, that we're going to end up having to be corrupted, man. So we're not prepared to go to a certain point to get certain things, man. And we've turned down jobs because of that kind of stuff. We've said, well, this job, I'm not doing this job. I can't do this kind of job. And that's why we might not have as much money as other people, man, because we are not prepared to do all the same things that they're prepared to do to get money, man. If you just look at all the things that Hebrew Israelites say alone, just based on women, just based on the things that they say about women, that is no different than all of these people that are on YouTube right now asking for a super chat, getting people sending in $200, 50, 10, 5, that are getting all these views on their YouTube channels, man. Every single Hebrew Israelite that talks about the wickedness that women are doing could have just made a YouTube channel like that if they wanted to. But we're not going to do that, though, because we care about all the wickedness. We got a problem with all the wickedness that's going on in the world, man. So we got a problem with the wickedness that those hoes are doing. But we got a problem with those men that have made those women become hoes too. And the society that's accepting of them being hoes. We got a problem with it all, man. We got a problem with all of this. And that's why Hebrew Israelites are the most hated, man. It's not worth being rich in this world if at the end of it all, You're not going to even be able to look at yourself in the mirror, man, and you're going to become a demon afterwards. It's not worth that. But a lot of people in this world, they have said, you know what, forget it, man. It is worth that. They've said, I want that money. So they've been prepared to do anything that they could possibly think of in order to get that money, man. And that's why you always see scandals coming out about these people later on, man. Or they end up cutting and just randomly shaving their hair off. They end up doing some weird dances. They end up having a weird, like just a weird way about them, and they end up getting weird tattoos on themselves. And they're just bugged out. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. And that's what people do. When you're rich in this world, man, it doesn't matter what you say. People are going to believe it purely because you're rich. Purely because you're rich, man. And that's how these wicked pastors in the churches are able to, because they show wealth, they're able to manipulate everyone, man. They're able to manipulate the whole world with using the Bible, man, because they've got riches. I looked up this one guy a couple of days ago, Kenneth Copeland, I believe his name was, and he's worth 800 million, man. He's damn near a billionaire. 800 million. And by the lowest accounts of what I saw that he was worth, he's worth 300 million. Some Edomite pastor with some crazy eyes, man. So when he's reading the Bible, if he read the same verses of the Bible that we read, but had that money in his account, people are going to believe it. But with us that ain't rich like that, that are saying it, they were like, nah, forget what you're talking about. But they don't understand that Yahweh did this as a trick, because he wanted to see if people would believe the word because of the word, not believe the words because of who was saying the words, man. So he chose the people that are viewed the least in this world, man. So-called black men, Latinos, and Native American men that are not rich and are not celebrities. They can't moonwalk like these celebrities can. They can't just do a backflip on the spot. They can't dunk from the free throw line. They ain't got a one-hitter quitter like Deontay Wilder. You know? They're just normal men, everyday normal men, man. But if a poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? If he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Riches are good to him that have no sin, and poverty is evil in the mouth of the ungodly. So if you got too much riches, man, it's not good if you're wicked. And if you've got poverty, it's not good if you're wicked either, because you're gonna start doing some crimes to get out of that position. Which is one of the main excuses of a lot of drug dealers in all of these different different cities that people have lived in, man. The city that I'm from was a big city for all of that stuff. That was a big city for all that stuff. The city that I'm from, that was a big place of all that kind of wickedness, man. Verse 25. The heart of man. I'm not going to read it. In fact, I'll read it. It's not really relevant to the lesson, though. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or evil, and a merry heart maketh it. Well, yeah, it is relevant. And a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. So a lot of these people with this money, it seems like they've got a cheerful countenance, man, when they're out in public, because they can get people to be jealous of them, right? But really, those people are distraught in their mind, man, because they know what they've had to do, man. I saw a picture yesterday. Well, it was a video, and it was Kanye West holding a billionaire's food for him while he eats out of his hands, man. Like, he's holding the food in his hands for him. And I'm thinking, like, why can't this motherfucker hold the food in his own hands, bro? Like, what's going on? Let him hold his own damn food. But that's part of the slave position that they've put him in order to get that riches, man. And they still ended up taking out of him anyway. As soon as he said one thing of some kind of righteousness about how we're the Israelites, then he got cancelled out real quick, man. Kyrie Irving, the same thing happened to him. Meat Mill, when he was signing that contract with Rick Ross, and Rick Ross saw how quick he signed the contract, and he went, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. He signed the contract and that. And then Rick Ross didn't even want to look him in his eyes. He was like, yo, that's crazy. Just seeing him sign the contract, right? And then he didn't want to look him in his eyes because he knew what kind of wickedness was in that contract, man. And as you can see right now, that contract, whatever he signed, was dodgy, man, because Meek Mill's been seen with these small 5'2" so-called fake Jewish people and that, with their hands around man's waist, like a woman showing off her new man, or like a man showing off his new wife, his new piece of eye candy and that. That's how these men have been dragging Meek Mill around, man. And then there's many other celebrities that have done on this too. All these celebrities that have been wearing dresses. They always have to wear a dress before they get that main role in that manly role. So he did one role for a children's movie where he wore a dress and he's a nanny. But then his next movie, he's a undercover spy saving the world from terrorism, from some kind of evil criminals or something. You know, it don't make no sense, bro. And there's many actors that have did that. There's many actors that have been used for all of these kind of things, man. So what is it? Is it worth being rich? You got these musicians, Bad Bunnies and all that. Like, they'll be wearing dresses, man. You had Jonathan Majors, right? He was all with his chest all out, with a pink coat on, right? With his arms out and that, yeah? With some weird face positions with his legs crossed and that, yeah? And then now, he's just lost all of that from what I've heard and from what I've been seeing. He's lost all of that now. So was it worth it? You had DMX, he was a big time musician, but then at the end of his career, he just started reading the Bible again. When he was coming to the end of his career, he started reading the Bible, doing live streams of him reading the scriptures. And didn't really know what scriptures to go to be honest with you. Didn't really know. But the thing with the elect, man, that's beautiful is that the path that's the way to receive salvation anyway has been programmed into the elect. So the elect can't steer away from it whether they wanted to or not, man, which is good, because if we could be steered away from it, it would be possible that we would be steered away from it. But what do the scriptures say? For the elect's sake, for those days are short enough, if it was possible to deceive the elect. But it's not possible though. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8, for by grace ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God. And it's good that it's not of ourselves, because if it was of ourselves, we wouldn't be getting it, man. If it was of us having to keep all the laws, we've already failed. You've already failed today, more than likely, of keeping all of God's laws. There's never been a man that's kept all the laws on this earth apart from Yahweh Shai. And if you want to read in the scriptures and say that this person, it says that they kept the laws, or that person, it says that they kept the laws, well, part of the laws you have to remember was sacrifice. So them of keeping the laws would have also meant that, yeah, when they did do things wrong, they kept the sacrifice properly in order to atone for their sins. It didn't mean that they didn't have any sins. If you believe that, then you can't believe the scripture that it says about there's been no man that doesn't sin. Verse 9, not of works lest anyone should boast. So it's not of us. And that's why when it comes down to it, when people see that the elect of the nation of Israel are not perfect men, well, what does the scripture say? In Romans 8 and 33, who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifieth. So these people aren't going to be able to say nothing against us, man. Verse 10, for we are his workmanship, created in the Mashiach Yahweh Shai unto good works, which Yahweh have before ordained that we should walk in them. So all the things that we're going through as people, if we're hopefully of the elect, man, whoever the elect are, let me say it like that, whoever the elect are, everything that they've went through is ultimately for them getting the space on a chariot, man. If they lost their woman, that was for a space on the chariot. If they lost their job, that was for a space on the chariot. If they went to university and then didn't go to university and then quit first year, second year, third year, that's part of their journey. If they got health problems, that's part of their journey. If they got rejected by their family, that's part of their journey. If God gave them a particular woman that's rocking with them for a certain time and she's good for them more than they're bad for them, that's part of their journey to get a space in a chariot. If God gave that one particular brother children and another particular brother he didn't give children, that's part of that brother's journey, because that's going to be a part of the reason why he does get a space in a chariot ultimately. It's not because of anything that we've did in particular, or not anything for the elect, what they did in particular, that they're going to get salvation, man. And that's good. Because if it was about us having to go do it for ourselves, we wouldn't get it, man. So it had to be programmed in us the ways to get these things. Verse 10, for we are his workmanship, created in the Mashiach Yahweh shine to good works. So we've been made by Yahweh, if we're of the elect. The elect have been made by Yahweh unto good works, which God have before ordained that we should walk in them. So before we was even born, before the elect were born, it was said, these people are going to wake up to the words of the Lord, to the words of Yahweh, or Yahweh has said it about himself. These are people that are going to wake up to the words that I've set out for them to be hearing in a particular time that they're going to hear it, and they're going to receive it, and it's no one's going to be able to take it away from them. Death ain't even going to be able to stop them from getting it. Of them being poor for a time ain't going to stop them. Them being unemployed for a time period isn't going to stop them. All the judgments that I'm going to do on them to show them to not get proud, man. Don't laugh at another man's down position, because now I'm going to have to put you in that down position. Don't try and question why another person is in a higher position than you, because I'm going to show you how you can't handle that position of power now. I'm going to put you in a position of power and show you that actually you can't handle that position of power. Don't talk about how this brother is dating this type of woman, because now I'm going to show you that another person is dating that same type of woman again, and you ain't said nothing about that, man. So now I've shown that you've got a thing that you shouldn't have said that, because you're not saying about one person, but you're saying about another. And then Yahweh is going to humble every Israelite, man. Don't start thinking that you're tough, because now I'm going to set up a situation where you're going to have to test your toughness against somebody that I've got out there on the street that's tough too. And now they're going to show you that you ain't as tough as you think you are. Or I'm going to hurt your health, and and now you're going to see you ain't as tough as you think you are. Don't be too angry all the time, because I'm going to show you now a situation where your anger caused you to get in a worse position for a whole year, 2 years, 3 years, or a long time or whatever. And now you're going to, when you get in a position again, now you're going to be humble now. There's many situations that every single person of the elect is going to go through, and all of it, man, is so that they can get a space in the chariot. And all of it, and us being viewed as people that, if we are the elect, being viewed as people that are not worthwhile in this world, is being done so that this can be said, man. That these people can be like, how are these people anything special? How are these non-high value men in this world the highest value men in the world to come? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Now, when you go to this chapter before, it says this, verse 17, for they shall see the end of the wise, and shall not understand what God in his counsel have decreed of him, and to what end the Lord have set him in glory, right? Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So they're going to look stupid, man, when they see that. Hang on. So you mean to tell me that chasing a bag ain't the way of life? You mean to tell me that the Bible is the ultimate thing? For real, though. Not that we have to guess anymore, that we've seen the evidence now. And it's going to hurt them in their heart, man, to know that. Because there's many things in the Bible that are scary. If for the proof for them to be shown, it's scary, man. Four-headed angels. That's scary to see that exists. Big UFOs that are the size of mountains flying over people's heads. That's scary. That's scary, man. To know that Yahweh drowned the earth and saved only 8 people alive, to know that that's a fact with 100% certainty, that's scary. To know that Yahweh is going to drown the earth in fire and save everybody else out of it with UFOs, and to see the evidence of that, to see that most people, everyone in the land of America anyway, is going to be drowned in fire. That's scary to know that Yahweh did that. To know that Yahweh made a group of people on the earth just so that he could kill them for their wickedness. But he made them wicked in the first place. That's scary. Right? And when people realize that the things in the Bible are true, they're going to be terrified, man. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Because people ain't expecting this. They think the Bible is a joke, for starters. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirits to say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in the vision, and a proverb of reproach. They're going to regret talking reckless, man. They're going to regret mocking men that didn't have as much wealth as them. They're going to regret, man. And a lot of you Israelites out there anyway, and I'm not even on about Israelites that know that they're Israelites. I'm on about you people that are Israelites, whether you believe it or not, right? You ain't rich either. And you're living paycheck to paycheck yourself, bruv. We've checked the stats on Israelite wealth out here. There's some Israelites that are doing good, but the majority are not. But it's even the ones that have not rich themselves or got even any kind of wealth themselves that you're still proud, man. And it don't make no sense. But I'm going to end the lesson there, man. People are going to be embarrassed when they see what Yahweh's planned for the elect, and maybe that's what I'll name the video. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash, the one honest to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect in the nation of Israel. Shalom.